Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida, and Jackie Robinson Ballpark on an excellent afternoon for some baseball. Today we have, as always, your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats looking for the series sweep against the Mastodons of Purdue-Fort Wayne. Teams no doubt worn down by 3 games in the last 2 days. Doubleheader went into last night, but there's no better guy on the mound for the Wildcats to eat up some innings, get the work done just as he did last week. We'll get more on the starter, Daniel Gaviria, in a bit. Joining me today in the booth is none other than Daryl Natil. Daryl, how are you today?
Oh, pretty good. Thank you, Bryce, for inviting me over this afternoon. Taking a good look at the Wildcats this afternoon with a record of 5-2. The fourth game of a 4-game series, a doubleheader yesterday. I was kidding one of the guys, saying that it's like minor league baseball, right? It's every day, buddy.
Every day is right. Like we said, a beautiful afternoon for some baseball today. 76 degrees right now. Wind blowing kind of out to left field today, but it's light, 6 miles an hour. May see some balls carry out that way depending on how things go. But regardless, we're ready to lead this one off. For Purdue-Fort Wayne, it'll be the shortstop, Jared Bickle. He hits one high into left field, carrying a bit. Chun is on it. He does make the catch. Nice running play there from Chun. Just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out for Daniel Gaviria.
You see that ball is carrying the left field. It looked like a pop fly. And he began to carry it to the warning track. Great catch out there in left field.
Right fielder Braden Blackford digs in now. Behind him in the Purdue-Fort Wayne lineup, we have Ben Higgins batting third. Caleb Johnson is batting cleanup. Isaiah Hart will DH. He bats fifth. Cade Nellis, sixth. Jacob Walker, seventh. Luke Miles, eighth. This one, another one hit high into left field. Chun back on it. Looks like he has it. He'll make the catch.
Yeah, Chun's getting a workout early in the ball game. Their first pitch hitting, trying to get an advantage right now on the Wildcats.
And then rounding out that Purdue-Fort Wayne lineup is Dylan Stewart. 2 pitches, 2 outs here for Gaviria. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Take a look at the Wildcats' defensive lineup. We'll give Gaviria 1 more pitch, working very quickly here. Second pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. From left to right, we have Tuero for the Wildcats at third, Garcia at shortstop, Olison at second, Sufrain at first. That one's low for a ball. In the outfield, we have Chun is in left. We've seen him in action early here. Guzman in center, and Hodges is at right. Jorge Braceras doing the catches for Gaviria. Pitch is low and inside.
Gaviria has 3 pitches. I talked to Coach Hernandez before the ball game. So he's very balanced on the mound.
That pitch, another one into left field. This one will get down for a base hit. And the Mastodons have their first base runner here.
Yeah, the Mastodons, I think, have really out-hit the Wildcats this weekend. They had 11 hits the other night to our 7 hits, but they can swing the bat. But the Wildcats have been playing well this early this season.
Wildcats pitching staff want to work very fast. We've seen that early this year. We saw that all of last year. Gaviria maybe a best among them, just working quickly, getting the sign, getting to the plate. Makes for some quick ball games. Ball's out. Oh, they called inside for strike 1.
That pitch clock is really effective right now in Major League Baseball, so it's great to see the guys really getting on the mound and ready to throw it.
We have seen a handful of pitch count clocks go off this season.
Ooh.
Ball's outside. But did he call that a strike again?
Yeah, he called it right on the chalk.
Another late call.
Yeah, he's giving them the corner early.
We did not see Nolan Santos get that yesterday afternoon. Got squeezed a little bit. That one's outside.
Just a little bit outside, as Bob, you could see.
Gaviria last week, 7 innings pitched. 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 3 Ks. Got the job done. Did not depart with the win, as no starter did last weekend for the Wildcats, but no doubt strong. This ball's popped into right. Hodges comes in on it. He's got it. And that will end the top of the first inning. No score here, 1 hit for the Mastodons. We'll be right back to work with Luis Tuero leading off for the Wildcats. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. Luis Tuero will head to the batter's box now to lead off this one for the Wildcats against the Mastodon starter, right-hander Mac Ayers. His one appearance this season, he allowed 2 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Looking to finish off this series for the Mastodons. Go length here.
Now, he's a big kid out of Indianapolis, transferred over from Ball State. So he's seen some great D1 baseball in his career.
Mastodons will need him to go deep today. Save some of those arms used over this weekend. That ball's hit through the hole at shortstop. Tuero's on with a base hit.
Great seeing that single that time. He fought the pitch off and just hit it to left field.
Wildcats, of course, 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning in last night's game. Set the tone early.
The Cats are a free swinging ball club. They'll swing that bat, regardless of the pitch count or number of outs. So they're just swinging the bat well early in the year.
Garrett Chun will dig in now for the Wildcats. We'll give you the Wildcats lineup after the first pitch here. Taken right down the middle for strike 1. Batting third for the Wildcats, Jeremiah Guzman, followed by the DH, Robert Moya in cleanup. Manny Sufrain, who had a pair of homers last night, he'll bat 5th. Jorge Braceras will bat 6th. Jason Hodges 7th. Jeremy Garcia in 8th. And in the 9-hole, as always, is Colton Olison. That ball's well outside for ball 1. Around the diamond for the Mastodons, from left to right, we have Miles at third, Bickle at short, Nellis at second, Johnson at first. In the outfield and left, we have Higgins, Walker in center, Blackford in right, and Stewart is doing the catching for Ayers. Another ball outside was low. Ball 2.
You kind of wonder these kids, been in Florida for a week or so on a hot afternoon doubleheader yesterday, and they come right back for another noon start. What kind of energy they have left?
No doubt. Could see a lot of free swinging today as the teams kind of try to get out of here and go home and enjoy their Sunday. Ball's low and inside. 3-1 here. Ball's chopped right up the middle. The shortstop has it. Flips over to second for 1. Over to first. Double play. Got Chun easily at first. 2 are away for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, the 6-4-3 was in order that time. A bounder up the middle. Great play that time by the shortstop.
That'll bring up number 23, Jeremiah Guzman. Getting his 4th start of the season. He does have 3 RBI, pair of hits and 7 at bats. Takes this one high for ball 1. Second pitch to him is swung on, chopped over to third. It's gathered by the third baseman, thrown over to first.
Great play.
A nice stretch. And that'll end the first inning. Nothing doing for either team. Pair of hits, 1 for each side. And we'll go on to the second inning. Gaviria will head back to the mound. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. The DH, Isaiah Hart, will lead off the top of the second for Purdue Fort Wayne. A quick first inning. Everybody's swinging away here this afternoon. Just like that. Ball's just foul, right outside the bag at third base. Guys swinging early, swinging often. Kind of like you would figure on a getaway Sunday game. Ball's a bit high, 1-1. Ball outside, 2-1. Gaviria continuing to work quickly here. Out of Orlando, Florida, Cypress Creek High School. Ball swung on and missed.
Great breaking ball that time. He got a little pop in his fastball, too. His breaking ball is really working.
Played the last 2 seasons at Florida State College. Ball's fouled back. Florida State College of Jacksonville, that is, under former BCU baseball player Brad Frick.
Frick was a heck of a shortstop for us.
That's a little dribbler out to the second baseman, Olison. He gathers it on the run, throws over to first. 1 away.
The ball had a little tail to it off the turf. Olison gathered it in over the first for the first out.
Never know what you're going to get off the turf here at the Jack.
I remember when they put this field in. It's about the 5th season now. This turf it's a little worn, but it's still in great shape.
Second baseman Nellis will bat now. Senior hitting 192 this season. Chops this one over to first. Sufrain will gather it himself, walk over to the bag, make the tag, and again another quick 2 outs to start the second for Gaviria. Jacob Walker will bat now. Fouls the first pitch back. Walker's second on the team with 5 RBI this season. 4 hits and 17 at-bats. That one catches the outside edge.
The umpire's really giving that pitch right now. Let's see how he does around the 6th inning.
Like we said, quite the opposite from last night. Guys were getting squeezed. This one's popped foul back behind the visiting dugout. Walker will stay alive here. Gaviria looking for his first strikeout today. The 0-2. The ball's high, 1-2 now. Another foul ball. Count stays 1-2.
Oh, inside corner.
The
Beautiful.
ball's in there. Strike 3, first strikeout of the afternoon for Gaviria. And just like that, the top of the second is over. Robert Moya will lead off for the Wildcats as we head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. DH Robert Moya will start us off here in the bottom of the second against the starter Mac Ayers. Ayers out of Indianapolis. His first pitch here. Just a bit inside, says the home plate official, and it'll be strike or a ball one rather. A little breaking ball there, slides over the heart of the plate. Strike one. Ayers primarily reliever at Ball State. Under 10 innings in the last 3 seasons there. It's a ball. Under 10 innings per season, I should say.
How are we using him as a specialist, probably, late innings? Way outside.
Ball looked outside, but ruled in there by the home plate official. Ayers about a
Very
strikeout.
generous today, I'd say.
No doubt. Wants to go home just like a lot of others here on this field today. That ball swung on and missed. Moya will go down swinging for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Manny Soufrain. Had an outstanding night last night. Provided all the offense the Wildcats needed. 5 RBI, 2 home runs, both to deep right. First baseman absolutely has some pop. Hernandez talked about that a lot going into this season. Something the Wildcats lacked a lot of last year was that pop. He'll be providing it a lot this season. First pitch to him is outside.
And it's great to see that because in swank baseball, you're only going to go strong a couple of days in pitching, but the third day you're going to get guys you can really hit off of. So it's great to see he got some pop in his bat. He's going all speed with him.
The ball outside. Soufrain kind of platooned last year over at first base. Split time with a handful of other Wildcats, Boris Pena, some others. We'll hope to take over that spot this year.
And he played at my old high school in Miami, Braddock High. I coached JV baseball and football at Braddock High School back in '86.
We know Johnny Hernandez, head coach of the Wildcats, big recruiter down in South Florida. 6 of his players are from Hialeah, 5 from Miami, 5 more from other areas in South Florida. Ball's taken for the first strike. 25 of the players on this roster are from Florida, no doubt a hot recruiting area.
Just like in Indiana, there's a basketball goal in every driveway. There's a baseball field in every neighborhood in Miami got.
No doubt. Ball's taken for a strike, counts full. That ball's low, and Soufrain will take a base. The catcher, Jorge Braceras, now. He has 5 hits and 10 at-bats so far this season.
Comes in batting 400 on the year. The middle of the lineup got some punch in it.
He's got a homer this season, too. Big part of the offseason for Hernandez was adding that power to the lineup. That ball is hit through the hole at second base. Base hit, runners on first and second with only 1 out here for the Wildcats.
Cats don't run much. 2 stolen, they're 3 for 3 in stolen bases, but they're going station to station that time, hitting behind the runner. And got runners at first and second, 1 out.
Jason Hodge is the right fielder now, starting his 5th game this season. Got a pair of hits, pair of RBI so far. Like you said, the Wildcats not been a team to run thus far this season, which is quite the contrast from a season ago, but 2 of their top 3 base stealers departed in the offseason. Malik Stevens has been limited so far. That ball's fouled back.
Yeah, I saw Malik before the ball game. He didn't look as muscle bound as he did last year.
He certainly leaned up a bit. Already lean guy last year. He was always the kind of guy to generate offense out of nothing. Get him on base and he'll put a runner in scoring position in no time. The 0-1. Low for ball one. That one's low, but peel down to first says he swung on it.
Yeah, he snuck the fastball in on the fist. Got him to turn on it.
Be 1-2 here. Wildcats trying to get on the board early, as they have throughout this series.
That's that outside corner again. He's
That
giving.
ball's in there. Strike three, 2 away for BCU in the second. It'll be up to Jeremy Garcia now. Try to get the Wildcats on the board here with 2 away. Garcia taking over at shortstop this year from his brother, Matt Garcia, who transferred in the offseason.
That's Matt's brother?
Absolutely. Taking over his starting spot, and he earned it. Hernandez talked about that battle a little bit in the offseason, but Garcia was the guy. First pitch to him is fouled over the home dugout. Strike one. Another one fouled back. Quickly down 0-2 here.
Outside corner again.
That one's in there. No doubt about that one. I think Garcia knew it. He goes down, strike three. The Wildcats strand a pair. We're still scoreless here at the Jack. We'll head to the third. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. Eight, 9-1 due up here for the Mastodons as we start the third inning. Daniel Gaviria back to the mound for the Wildcats. He's worked quickly and worked well early today. Just the one hit allowed so far, one strikeout. First pitch is swung on and missed. Strike one. Wildcats looking to match their longest winning streak from a season ago of 4. That ball's taken for strike 2. Non-conference schedule was brutal for the Wildcats last year. Ball's high. 1-2 now. So it was tough for the Wildcats to put together a long streak, and obviously conference play is always tough. Gaviria will bean him here, and Miles will take a base to lead off the 3rd inning for the Mastodons. That'll bring up the 9-hitter, catcher Dylan Stewart. Got a pair of RBIs, 3 runs scored, 3 hits so far. 2023. He'll dig in with a leadoff base runner. He shows bunt. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1.
Now you talk about the winning streak. When you live in Florida and you're playing UCF and FIU and Jacksonville during your midweek games, it's a tough non-conference schedule.
Yeah, Wildcats did that last year. They'll do it again this year. Every midweek or two, another Florida team. Bunt down the first base line. It'll go foul. Miles will have to go back to first. Had the makings of a nice sacrifice.
UCF, South Florida, Florida Gulf Coast, JU, Florida State. It just gets worse when you go up north.
A lot of those teams last year and no doubt this year will be ranked by the time the Wildcats see them.
Stetson had us right across the county too.
Cats did take 2 of 3 from Stetson last year. Bunt here right to the pitcher Gaviria. He gathers it, throws over to first. Sufrain makes the play. The runner will advance to second, so that's a sacrifice for the 9-hitter Stewart. Got a runner in scoring position now with 1 away. We'll take us to the top of the lineup, and Jared Bickle hitting .441 this season. 15 hits in 34 at-bats, 3 RBI. Textbook leadoff hitter.
He fly deep to Chung in the first pitch of the game at the warning track.
.486 on-base percentage with 3 walks. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1.
That had to be high because it was right on the corner where he was calling it.
And called in there, caught the outside corner for strike 1. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. Wildcats' premier pitching team in the SWAC last season, ranked first in most categories on the mound. They're right there again to start this season, as a lot of SWAC teams play each other. This ball dribbled out to the shortstop Garcia. He'll throw over to first. The runner will stay put at second, and there's 2 away.
When you look at the SWAC, Florida A&M was like right behind us, and most of that MEAC pitching that's over now in the SWAC, we're heavy in pitching and meeting the MEAC, and the SWAC is heavy in hitting, so it's kind of balancing out now.
Hernandez has talked a fair bit about that as they've transitioned to the SWAC. There was a noticeable difference last season between the Wildcats lineups and some of the ones they faced within the SWAC. That's why you see a lot of Power 5 transfers, some big power added to the Wildcats lineup. So that one's taken for strike 1 here on Braden Blackford. Wildcats looking to keep pace. Several games could have been won last year. A little bit more firepower in the lineup, and Hernandez thinks he's done that for this season.
Yeah, I like the makeup of this club so far.
Pitch is fouled back. 0-2 here. Gaviria looking to avoid the leadoff base runner. Luke Miles in scoring position. It's just chopped down the first base line. Foul.
I think as we go along in the spring, you'll see the Wildcat baseball and softball team kind of stay at the top of their divisions in the SWAC. Our spring sports have always been strong regardless of conference play. Baseball and softball, track and field has always been strong.
Even after the opt-out year for COVID, baseball and softball last season, both down to the wire in the SWAC tournament, they produced some outstanding seasons. Another one chopped foul. Count stays at 1-2.
I think Laura Watton's in California right now.
She is. The Laura Watton and the Wildcat softball program love to challenge themselves early in the season. A yearly participant in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, playing some big-time teams. Weather out there this week has been pretty lousy, but they've still gone up against several of the top softball programs. And we know in NCAA softball, the top, there by a wide margin. Swung on a missed for strike 3. Gaviria avoids the runner in scoring position, the leadoff walk. And we will remain scoreless here as we head to the bottom of the third. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. Colton Olison will lead off the bottom of the third here for the Wildcats. The 9-hitter, kind of a perfect 9-hitter, was last year for the Wildcats, has been one of the Wildcats' best hitters this season, batting .364, 4 RBI. He walked off Lehigh last Sunday, base hit in the bottom of the 9th. I think yesterday was one of his first hitless games of the season. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Second pitch looked in there, but ruled another ball. 2-0 to Olison. He'll look to get the table set for the Wildcats, try to put some runs across here. Certainly been some threats from both sides early, but nothing across. That one's in there for strike 1.
A good-looking fastball at the knees that time, trying to change his eye level.
Ball's inside. On a stretch out of the way, did Olison. He's up 3-1. Pitches right down the middle. Looked like he was taking all the way. Full count. Olson out of Spring Hill, Florida. One of the handful of holdovers from the Wildcats from before the COVID shutdown.
He's absolutely a senior that's a leader on the ball club.
Ball's fouled back. Count will stay full here. Hernandez has compared Olson in the past in our conversations to the Red Sox legend Dustin Pedroia. Certainly can see the physical resemblance, a shorter second baseman, but I think the leadership qualities stand through when you're compared to a guy like that. Ball's inside, and a leadoff base runner for the Wildcats. Olson will head to first. Fifth walk of the season for the second baseman. That'll bring up the top of the BCU order. Luis Tuero. Tuero 1 for 1 today. If I'm not mistaken, he was a first pitch single to begin the Wildcats top of the first. Or bottom of the first, rather.
See the third baseman creeping in. Let's see what happens right here. He has a lot of room on the left side.
Ball's taken for strike one. The ball's thrown over to first. Try to get Olson. Kind of bounced off the base, it looked like. Olson dives back in safely. Didn't have time to get up and make anything of it as it bounced right back to the pitcher, Ayers. Weird pickoff attempt there, but no matter. It's Tuero is set for the 0-1 pitch. Ball's taken low, 1-1. Wind still out of the northeast here. Looks like it's blowing a little bit more in maybe than it was before. I don't think it'll be strong enough to knock anything down. It may help some balls drift out to left. Olson dives back into first again. Olson is 1 for 1 on steal attempts this year. He was 2 for 3 last year. Not a peak base stealer, but will run if needed. He takes off here. Ball's fouled back. He'll have to head back to first. Wildcats trying to maybe small ball their way into an early lead here. A little frustrated after stranding a handful of runners. 2. Wildcats have certainly stranded their fair share of runners early in this season, especially last weekend. Stranded the bases loaded, I think, 5 times, if I'm remembering correctly.
And that was the name of the game last season.
Certainly was. Ayers throws over to first again.
That's why you get that punch in the middle of the lineup and you get those guys on base. You get those heavy hitters who can put the ball in the gap and get some of those runners around.
Ball's outside, 2-2 to the third baseman, Tuero.
Ayers not an overpowering pitcher. He's nibbling at the corners. He's got a breaking ball. Fastball has decent speed.
Luckily, he's been given those corners, as Gaviria has been as well, but another throw over to first. Clearly worried about Olson over there. Wildcats took the lead in large part last night due to a failed pickoff attempt. Olson goes. That ball's in the dirt. He'll make it down to second. After all that, Olson will take his second stolen base of the season. He's a perfect 2 for 2 early on. And with a full count.
He has 2 of the 4 stolen bases. So bottom of the order has that speed. Bottom and the top.
Full count to Tuero. Ayers looks in. Wildcats now runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Perfect time right now for a base hit to right field.
Tuero's the kind of guy to do it. That one is popped over the head of the shortstop. That'll be out into left center. Olesen rounding third. He's going to score. Not the prettiest hit in the world, but Tuero has an RBI. The Wildcats have a run. They're on top, 1-0.
Back in my day, they called that a senior out single. It knew just where to land in front of the center fielder. With that speed at second base, it was easily to score.
Number 34,
Garrett Chun will dig in now. With the Wildcats leading 1-0. Tuero over at first. Chun 0 for 1. He chops the first one down the first base line. Well, foul.
So how you like the turf field? Low maintenance, just do the mounds and home plate.
Certainly for the Tortugas, in their perspective, it's the most efficient option. Obviously, I think I'll always be partial to grass fields, but I certainly don't blame clubs like this for doing the turf. It certainly looks nice. Like you said, definitely weathered, but it does have a nice look to it. Always recognize pictures from the Jack. Another throw over to first by Ayers.
But there's a lot of coral reef, coral sand and shells underneath, and the grass here was terrible because after a rain it never would dry out. So the turf is the best thing for this area. It's sitting on the island.
Looks like we may have we got a balk here to Ayers. Thought I heard the officials say ball, but that's going to be a balk. Tuero will go to second. Always tough to tell. We don't have a physical pitch clock out here, so a lot of times when we see those calls, it's kind of just...
They took the clocks out, didn't they? They used to have them down by the dugouts.
They did, in talking with the CEO of the Tortugas here. The Major League Baseball borrowed the pitch clocks to take down south for some spring training.
Okay.
That one's chopped over to the second baseman. Blackford's got it, throws over to first. One away for the Wildcats. Tuero will move down to third. As that brings up Jeremiah Guzman.
Guzman grounded into a double play back in the he grounded to the third baseman back in the first inning.
But Major League Baseball, like we said, bringing the pitch clock down south for some spring training games.
Yeah, I saw Manny Machado, get in the box, and before you knew it, he had a strike on him.
It will be very interesting to see how that all plays out. It's already been interesting here in college baseball. First pitch is taken on the inside edge for strike one. Certainly some guys caught off guard by it. I haven't seen anybody necessarily fired up, angry about it. I think all the guys understand, and maybe with some of the younger guys, they're more ready to embrace the pitch clock. Big swing and a miss for strike two.
So many other changes, too, in Major League Baseball with the pickoff pitch, too. You can only throw over the first 3 times.
Bigger bases, too.
Yeah, bigger bases, more steals.
It'll definitely be interesting from a lot of different perspectives. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs for the Wildcats. Guzman goes down swinging. And with the runner still on third base, it'll be the big hitting DH, Robert Moya. Struck out in his first appearance tonight. This afternoon, I should say. Perfect game, all SWAC member Moya. Ball's taken outside.
And Moyer's a big kid too, man. Like he loves the weight room.
Had 41 RBIs for Cleveland Community College last season. 11 doubles, 11 homers. Another one of those guys with some pop. Hernandez is excited to add to this lineup. That one's taken for strike one. Wildcats really didn't have a bat like Moya at all last season. The catcher Boris Pena was their leading home run hitter, along with Malik Stevens. Both of them had 6. Certainly in the batter's box, don't strike you. 2 leaner guys as those power type guys. Ball's well outside.
Yeah, Moya digs in, got a little pine tar on top of the helmet. Yeah, he's ready. Sawed him off.
Grounded down the first base line and foul.
One to nothing. Cats on top.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Moya fouls another one. Manny Soufrain is on deck if the Wildcats can extend this inning. Ooh, called a ball, must have been high. Always a little tough to tell on the close ones from up here. Count will go full here on Moya.
For the fastball right here, the breaking ball isn't coming over.
That ball is ripped towards the shortstop. He gathers it, throws over to first.
Oh, he knocks
Makes
it
a
away.
tag, but it's knocked out of the
safe.
glove. Moya's going to be safe. Tuero's going to come around to score. Kind of a lazy play by the first baseman Johnson.
Yeah. He nonchalant went for the tag, and as he tried to tag the runner, the ball came out of his glove. Give the Cats another run. Give an error to the first baseman on that. They're going to talk about it.
Number 16.
I think that one should stand. It very clearly popped out of the glove when he was trying to apply the tag. We had one play last weekend, a similar type play, but the ball was in the glove a lot longer in that one than it was here.
Let's see if they call him out. This was routine play. He was up the line just a little bit from the throw.
First
And he
baseman
met Moya on the baseline. Moya was running right where he should have been running. Gonna call him safe.
Call will stand. Wildcats have their second run of the afternoon. Off the strange play from Moya, that one will be an error on the first baseman Johnson. And it'll be Manny Soufrain. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance this afternoon. Like we said, 2 homers last night. Can't love to see him out there at any time if you're Ayers.
Yeah, that's right.
Over on Moya.
Probably start him off with the breaking ball on the outside like he did the first time. Let's see how they pitch to him.
Ayers clearly still worried about the base runner. Throws over to first one time. Looks Moya back now. Moya's certainly not the guy.
Yeah, man, Moya don't have that great speed. He's a big kid. The guy.
Gotta wonder if that's affecting his delivery to the plate at all. Constantly checking in on runners. He delivers here. Off speed on the outside edge. Strike 1. Ball's high. 1-1 now.
Cats got 2 runs across in the inning. One's unearned.
Of course, that'll change to an earned run if Soufrain can punch a base hit through here. This one's flied out to right. Right to the right fielder, Blackford. He's got it. That'll end the inning, but not before the Wildcats grab 2 runs. They're on top 2-zip. We will be right back as we head to the 4th. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. We'll start off the 4th inning here with number 10, Ben Higgins, leading off. But before he does, I'm going to turn the play-by-play over to my partner, Daryl Natil.
Middle 3 innings, Cats up 2-0. First pitch is popped up to the right side. First baseman by the dugout makes a basket catch for the first out. Good play that time by Suffering.
Had some tough ones over there to start the season for home and away. A lot of balls over that first base line been dropped. I'm not sure if it's a combination of losing in the sun, the lights, or what, but Suffrain makes that one here.
Suffrain's been here enough now to know how to play that side of the field. It's a very strange area because of the small dugout. You got a lot of players on the side. Pop to the right side, foul over the bullpen. Johnson flied to right field his first time up, back in the second. Working fast. There's a base hit up the middle. Make a big turn at first base. So the Doors, with a runner on at first, 1 down.
I believe that's 3 straight leadoff base runners for the Mastodons. Nothing's come of it yet.
So hard to step in. Grounded to second base his first time. First pitch is outside for ball 1. There's a fly to left field. Left fielder Chun camps up under it, makes the catch for out number 2.
Gaviria just continuing to work so fast. Even among a pitching staff that works fast by nature, he is rarely shakes off his catcher, gets up and throws.
It's a great rhythm. Caden Nellis is stepping in. First pitch is a base hit to right field. Let's see, the runner turns. He's going to hold at second base. Nice throw from the right fielder. Just got back. So a 2-out single to right puts runners at first and second.
Number 5, Jacob Walker.
Jacob Walker step in, struck out looking. Back into second.
Gaviria up to 4 strikeouts this afternoon, matching his total from last weekend.
First pitch is bounded back to the pitcher. Underhand toss to first. The end the inning. No runs. 2 hits. 2 men left. At the end of 3.5, Wildcats up 2-0. You're watching Cat Eye Network. in the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Wildcats, Braceras, Hodges, and Garcia will face Ayers. Here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, Wildcats lead it 2-0. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Cats trying to sweep the series. The catcher steps in. Single to right field. His first time up.
Starter Ayers at 56 pitches so far to this one. I hope they can squeeze a few more innings out of him. Been nice to start this one.
First pitch is high, inside. Half swing. You're going to call it a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Braceras. Here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, the Wildcats lead it 2-0.
Late appeal down to first there.
That was a pop to the right side. The right fielder came in on it and goes back. Makes the catch in right field for the first out. So with 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning, they'll bring up the right fielder. The 24, Jason Hodges. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. He's been giving us that pitch all day long.
Getaway day calls from the home plate official. Nothing wrong with that.
Outside. These guys got to be flying out of here, probably out of Orlando after the game. I think they're on the road again for another 3 games up in North Carolina, I think. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike.
Their flight is scheduled out of Orlando at 6 o'clock tonight, so they'll be getting a little antsy if this thing does decide to go long. Doesn't look like we're on pace for that now, but with these Sunday games, it's always in the back of the head coach's mind.
There's a foul ball over the right side. The umpire give us the count. I think it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ayers is going all the way for the doors. There's a dribble to the right side over by the bullpen. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Saw the Savannah Bananas here at the Jack this past week, Wednesday and Thursday. A couple of BCU alum out there for the Bananas.
Ball outside.
Michael Deeb holds down first base for the home team, and Dalton Malden, second base. I was lucky enough to attend the Thursday night contest. Malden made some really nice plays out there at seconds. As silly as the game is, he was rock solid defensively.
There's a line drive base hit to the right side into right field. And Hodges is on first. Yeah, the Bananas are a great act, man. I watched their ESPN Plus special last year. Some crazy things going on up there.
They were here last year as well. Wildcats worked a game in the early afternoon before the evening when the Bananas were here last year. They are a machine.
Brings up the shortstop, Garcia, with a runner down at first. 1 down. Cats threatening here. Bottom half of the 4th. Harris get the fastball over for strike 1. Cats with 3 hits on the afternoon. Throw over to first. It's going to be interesting to see Major League Baseball with the bigger bases and the the pitch count. You got a lot of veteran ball players who don't like change. We'll see how that goes.
Veteran ball players and veteran fans, a lot of outcry.
Oh,
about it
you
from
know it, guys.
particularly the older generation.
Yeah, Boston and Milwaukee, them people gonna be complaining. Throw over to first, back in time.
Of course, no doubt when those new rules affect their team positively, they'll probably change their tune a little bit.
But the game did get a little slow. You know, you got the replay now and all that stuff. The game did slow down a lot.
It's really hard to commit 3 hours every night of the week for 162 games.
Throw back over to first. Olson will follow. Gets the opportunity right here. Cats with a run on at first, 1 down. Outside. Glad to see they got the Jumbotron back up, even though it's hard to see in the daytime.
It does look very nice at night. Tough to see out there in the daytime, no doubt.
Throw back over to first again. Now, if it was Major League Baseball, that'd be it right there. The next time you throw over, that's like a ball. You get a free base. How they gonna score that? They're gonna score that what? A stolen base or
It's interesting to think about the
a
possibilities.
whole
there where
new
you're
stat line?
no longer allowed to throw over.
Ball that's what they're gonna call that a strike.
Looked low from up here.
Yeah, it did. Maybe the umpire was on the same flight.
Everybody's got Sunday evening plans.
XFL football this afternoon.
Won't catch me watching a second of that. I've had my football fill for a while.
I watched it last night. It was brutal from Las Vegas.
Just something for degenerate gamblers. Like
Gonna go in. They fouled away. I think that was a hit and run that time. Garcia was running on the pitch. The Hodges was running on the pitch. Garcia bounded it to the left side. Let's see if the umpire gives us the pitch count. Running down at first. 1 down. There's a base hit to left field, and the runner's going to stop at second base. And Garcia's on with a single. Station to station. Cats threatening here in the bottom half of the fourth. The runners at first and second. And Olson walked, came around to score, back in third.
bottom of the order for the Wildcats today.
Been doing that.
6, 7, 8 with a hit each. And Olson walked, doing their job down there, setting things up for the top of the order. Olson definitely a guy who's done that his whole career.
Nobody in the bullpen down for Matadors. Matadors.
That would be Mastodon.
Mastodons. Come on. Oh, fastball outside, swing and a miss. So what is that mascot? What is that, an elephant?
Yeah, and it's an extinct elephant. If we get out of hand here today, maybe we can look up some facts about mastodons. They're big hairy elephants, long extinct.
The Alabama No, I can't go that way with Alabama now.
Wildcats hoping to extinct the mastodons themselves here today.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Nobody could advance that time. Nice
Like
stop
Wildcats head coach Johnny Hernandez,
And Johnny wanted him to
frustrated
run,
with the
yeah.
runner on second. Maybe wasn't quite paying attention, a little checked out, not sure.
I think that ball did get away late, though. It hit the catcher, then it bounded away. So the first initial bounce he didn't see. Ears checks the runner at second. Delivers. Outside. Now he's squeezing the plate. Two balls and a strike, like the scoreboard says. Runners at first and second for the Cats. One down. Threatening with the top of the order on deck. There's a bounce, fly ball to the right side. Over by the bullpen. It's going to be out of play. We're doing the week that butt by the bullpen on Thursdays. Thursday for the Tortugas. Going on.
Not a lot of better ways to spend nights in the summer than out here with the Tortugas. Of course, you got Wednesdays, Belly Buster Wednesday, all you can eat food for that one ticket price.
Great promotions.
Certainly for those of us working at college baseball, it's a little tough to come out and watch more baseball by the time we've had our fill at the end, but I still manage a couple nights a year out here.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Runners at first and second. Ayers delivers. There's a bounder up the middle, base hit. Runner's going around third. He'll come in and score, and the Cats are up 3-0.
Ball kicked off the mound. Not sure if the second baseman, Nellis, would have had a play if it didn't. Kind of looked like it was probably still out of reach, but it bounced over their heads and into center field.
Olson with the single and an RBI puts the Cats up 3-0.
Olson's 5th RBI of the season. Just been outstanding in the 9-hole this year.
They'll bring up Torero. He's 2 for 2. Cats got something going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Only 1 down. Ball in the dirt.
Ayers up to 76 pitches now.
You see a little mulling going around down there by the bullpen for Purdue Fort Wayne.
Brendan Reed, number 38, starting to get stretched out.
Ball outside. A ball and a strike. Nope, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Left fielder Chung on deck for the Wildcats. Looking for an opportunity. Inside. So a little bullpen action going on over there now. Ayers was up by around 70 pitches now.
About to hit 80 after this at bat.
79 pitches. That was a great guess. Ball outside. That'll load the bases. Terrell draws a walk. They put Wildcats on every base now. They'll bring up Guzman.
Number 34.
Nope. It's Chung. Excuse me. Chung grounded to a double play back in the first.
Here comes the pitching
Grounded
coach.
to second. Pitching coach is going to come out. Breaking action here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. You're watching Cat Eye Network. Brandon Reed.
Awfully long mound visit there for the pitching coach, but he's going to leave his guy in.
Okay, the strategy there, what, to give your pitcher more time in the bullpen?
Certainly a possibility.
With a shot clock. I mean, with a pitch clock.
Certainly a possibility.
So it runners on every base. Wildcats threatening. First pitch to Chun. High for ball 1. You see Ayers is really struggling right now. You can see him almost thinking on every pitch.
We saw how the runners on base have certainly frustrated him in the past. Maybe a change in approach with his delivery.
Another fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. He doesn't seem to be checking the runners now. He's just going for the batter. Maybe trying to induce a ground ball for a double play. They're playing double play depth up the middle. Here's the 1-1. High for ball 2. He's trying to use that fastball as a strike pitch. It's been high in the zone most of the afternoon.
Last thing you want to do is walk in a run here.
Breaking ball, over for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 man down. Cats with the bases full here in the bottom of the 4th with a run across. Way outside.
Wildcats certainly in prove-it mode here for Ayers. Has to show them that he can get balls over the plate before they're going to offer at a lot of these.
His breaking ball has been his pitch. So maybe with a full count, we might see the breaking ball right here. Third baseman creeping in. Fouled away. That was a high fastball that time. He fouled it away. So that gives Ayers something else to think about right now. Maybe come back with a breaking pitch. Three balls and 2 strikes. Bases full of Wildcats. Fans getting a little antsy.
Looking to put up a crooked number in the 4th.
First baseman creeping in. There's a foul ball down the left side. Chun hanging in there, trying to get his pitch. Ayers is going back-to-back fastballs. Third baseman trying to cut that run down at home, right on the grass. Foul away again. Great at bat right now for Chum. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on every base. Cats with a run across lead it 3-0. We're in the bottom half of the 4th. Here's the payoff pitch from Ayers. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Chung goes down looking for the second out.
Tough call there, but probably the right call.
It was the right call.
Looks like it caught the plate pretty healthily there.
Gonna bring up the center fielder, Guzman. Guzman steps in, struck out back in the 2nd inning. Base hit right here, open it up for the Cats. There's a base hit to left field. 1 runner score. 2 runs to score. Guzman down at second. They're going to send the runner at third. Here comes the throw. He's going to be safe. Guzman's going to advance over to third base. He'll be in there.
Outstanding piece of hitting there from Guzman. Ball rolled all the way to the wall. Runner from first scores easily.
Give him a double, and on the overthrow, he moves over to third base. 3 runs across. He cleared the bases with that double.
Ayers up to 89 pitches now. The late start for the warm-up in the bullpen, probably keeping him out there. Oh, but here we have the...
That'll probably be all for him.
Pitching coach may do it, in fact. They will.
6-0. Is that correct? Yep, 6-0 Wildcats.
6-0. Right-hander Brendan Reed makes his way to the mound.
Brendan Reed will come in. He's a He's a junior from Union, Kentucky, Frontier Community College. There's a breaking action here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. You're listening to Wildcat Foot Baseball here on the Cat Eye Network. And we're back here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The Cats have broken this ball game open with 4 runs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Hodges single, Garcia single, Olson singles, Terrell walks, double by Guzman. Still only 1 down. No, it's 2 down. It's 2 down. The new pitcher, Brandon Reed.
Been a workhorse reliever for throughout his entire career, back to his time at Frontier Community College in 2021, 33 innings. 2019, 33 and 2/3 innings.
Here comes the big guy, Moyer. Moyer struck out, reached on an error at first base, back in the 3rd.
Reed appeared in 16 games last season, all in relief. 12 outings. Of those 16, he allowed 1 or 0 earned runs, including 2 scoreless innings against Michigan.
There's a blooper into center field. Center fielder camps up under it for the 3rd out. So 1 pitch, Reed puts out the fire. Moyer flies out the center. But the damage has been done for the Wildcats. 4 runs on 4 hits. 1 man left on base. At the end of 4, the Wildcats lead it 6-0. And we're back here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark this afternoon. The Wildcats lead this ball game 6-0. Bryce kind of looking ahead. The Wildcats will be hosting the Knights, UCF, this week in the midweek game.
Always fun to see some of those bigger clubs make an appearance down here at the Jack. We saw UCF here last year. Good measuring sticks for where the club is at. Always fun to do it here at the friendly confines of Jackie Robinson. But it'll certainly be interesting to see, especially the way this club is swinging the ball right now. You had 13 runs on Friday, 9 and 7 in the 2 games last night, already up to 6 here. We know the Wildcats have the pitching. Can they put up the offense to stay with teams like this? It'll be a good chance to really find out where we're at.
Miles, first batter for the Purdue Fort Wayne team. Hit by a pitch back in the third. Ball 2.
Gaviria will throw pitch number 50 next.
Pop to the right side, foul. Longwood will be coming in also on the next weekend. My cousin is the assistant women's basketball coach at Longwood from Daytona Beach. Landis McCoy, former Mainland coach. There's a bounce ball down to the third base side, foul.
Wildcats saw their all-SWAC first-team closer Brenton Fisher transfer to Longwood in the offseason. A homecoming for the kid. Not quite local to that area, but from close enough that they found the program made sense fit-wise for him.
Two balls and 2 strikes to count. Swing and a miss. Fouled away. Oh, the catcher dropped it. Threw over to first for the first out. So Miles goes down swinging. That'll bring up Dylan Stewart. Stewart sacrificed
Number 2.
back in the third inning. So to lead off the fifth, get a great strikeout. Pitcher is bunted down the third baseline. Foul.
Gaviria's 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
He's getting up there. Great looking kid on the mound, man. He's hopping around and doesn't waste any time. Great rhythm.
Always ends up waiting on the batter to get back in the box. He's ready to throw. Need more pitchers like that across every level of baseball.
Ball outside. Strike outside. Let's see how the net works like it now with the quicker ball games from Major League Baseball.
As long as it doesn't affect their commercial breaks, I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
Ball in the dirt. It's gonna have to get a commentator some short time to ad lib. But they still have the replays from the umpires on the close plays, so you can still challenge. Here's a 2-1. Fouled away.
A matinee contests around the SWAC today. Several SWAC teams in New Orleans, Prairie View and Florida A&M. The Andre Dawson Classic. Alcorn State will play Roosevelt.
Foul ball down the right side.
Jackson State play Grambling State. Pine Bluff at Mississippi Valley. Alabama State. Looks like we're pending a matchup there with potentially some tournament style.
There's a bounder up the middle. Second baseman coming hard. Throws over the first. Got him.
We'll get your scores on those SWAC games once we have them. A lot of them early in progress. Some may be wrapping soon.
So the top of the order, Bickle comes up. Grounded to short. Back into second. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. That pitch has been there all day long.
All day long, no doubt.
There's a pop. Center fielder called him for it. Shortstop goes out. And he makes the catch. Guzman for the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 4.5, Wildcats lead it comfortably 6-0. Back here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, bottom half of the 5th inning for the Wildcats. 5, 6, and 7 will be at the plate for the Cats. First baseman, number 16, Sofrin. Walk, fly to right. Sofrin. We've been quiet this afternoon. A lot of pop in the bat yesterday. Fouls away the fastball.
4 of the 7 Wildcat hits this afternoon come from the bottom of the order.
How many times will you see that during the season?
The deep lineup like this one,
Could happen a lot.
Coach Hernandez is hoping it's a lot.
Reed, no balls and 1 strike. Pitching from the stretch gets more comfortable. Here's the 0-1. Curveball for ball 1.
Reed spent his summer of 2022 with the Normal Corn Belters, the Prospect League.
What? Bounded away. They runs to count the ball and 2 strikes. So I guess he's seen a lot. Where was that, an hour?
Yes. A lot of guys from the Wildcats spend their summers with summer ball. I will have to get with Coach Hernandez on the exact destinations for each of our guys. I know we've had some River Turtles in the past.
Yeah.
Burlington Sock Puppets. A lot of those summer ball type leagues. Guys just continuing to get the reps in.
A ball and 2 strikes on Sofrin. Look for the fastball in the dirt right here. Waste pitch. Call it strike outside corner for a strike 3.
Nice pitch there.
It was.
Tough one to swing at.
They'll bring up Braceras, the catcher. He's singled and flying to right.
Number 43, Jorge Braceras.
There's a fisted. The ball is short. Over the first for the second out. So quickly, 2 down for the Cats. That'll bring up Hodges. Hodges struck out looking, singled and scored back in the 4th. Jason comes in 1 for 2. Scored back in the 4th inning after he singled and was moved around.
Jason Hodges related to Craig Hodges.
No, the basketball player?
Played at Long Beach State and with the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, man. First pitch is low for ball 1. What you see in college is once that ball hit the dirt, they throw it back to the pitcher. In the pro ranks, that's a souvenir.
Cost effective here
All
at the
bat
Jack.
practice ball. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Cats up 6-0. Inside.
Hodges does lead the Wildcats in strikeouts with 10 early here in the season.
Jeremy Garcia would be next. Kind of handcuffing that time with a fastball, but it must have been high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Strike 3 call.
Strike two. Looks like
Strike
Boyd's a
two
little
call.
behind us.
Okay, strike two. Okay, the scoreboard is correct now. Actually, it's 3-2.
Kind of looked like Hodges, man. Thought he had ball 4
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Had to put his shin guard back on.
Here's the payoff pitch. Bounced over the short. Gavin over the first. High throw! Just got him on the tag. So Hodges grounds out to short to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the Cat Eye Network. We'll be back. Top half of the 6th inning. You'll see Blackford, Higgins, and Johnson. First 3 batters.
Mastodons in danger here, dropping their 6th straight. They had a losing streak of 13 in a row last year. Just a tough non-conference slate for them.
What conference do they play in?
The Horizon League.
The Horizon. Okay.
Finished 18-36 last year, 13-15 in conference. The likes of Wright State, Oakland, Youngstown State, who the Wildcats saw last year, Northern Kentucky, Milwaukee, and UIC.
First pitch is high for a strike. Across the letters. Umpire got to be ready to go. Jimmy John closed at 5 o'clock. Fouled away at the plate. Quickly 0-2.
Definitely been, as we said to start this one, a lot of healthy swinging early in counts in here. Guys just trying to make something happen, get in, get out.
Ball outside. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Nobody out. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. Cats up 6-0. The 1-2. Pop to the left side. Left fielder coming in on it. Makes the catch for out number 1. Chun had it all the way. So quickly, 1 down. That'll bring up Ben Higgins.
Gaviria sitting at 65 pitches now. Like we said, perfect guy to get some length on a Sunday. He's going to be an excellent Sunday starter for this team all year.
Turned on one foul down the left field line. Higgins flied out to the first baseman. Back in the 4. Pop to center field. Guzman up under it for the 2nd out. Better bring up Johnson. He singled and was stranded at second base. Back in the 4th.
Number 33, Jalen Johnson.
Another pop to the right side. Going to give Chase. Surfing going to give Chase over there. And he makes the play for out number 3. Great first baseman play there in foul territory. For Purdue Fort Wayne, no runs and no hits and no errors. Nobody left on. At the end of 5.5, the Cats lead this thing 6-0. for Purdue, Fort Wayne. He's retired 4 in a row.
Big weekend across BCU athletics again. We saw men's and women's basketball doubleheader last night. That game was streamed on HBCU Go.
HBCU Go, man. The band was in there rocking.
Making their first foray here to Daytona Beach for the newer media company there. Saw the Wildcat women fall to Southern.
They're back in the middle of the pack now, right?
They have to check the standings, but probably sitting right around 4 or so. They fell 58-40 last night. The men took down Southern. Was the number 3 team in the conference heading into last night. They took that one 60-53 to climb back into playoff contention in the SWAC. Sitting there with the 8 seed right now. If they win out, they do control their own destiny. They've got Grambling State tomorrow night and FAMU at home next weekend. That one will no doubt be a fun one, especially if there's playoff implications on the line.
How did Grambling do with FAMU last night?
Grambling did take down FAMU last night.
So Garcia stepped in, struck out looking, singled and scored in the 4th.
Of course, you have Wildcat softball in action this weekend as well. Women's golf starts tomorrow.
Inside, it hit him. So Garcia reaches on a hit by pitch. That'll bring up Olison. Olison has scored twice with an RBI, 1 for 1.
Number 2, Colton Olsen.
Olison just been such a tough out the whole season so far.
Just a disciplined hitter. He's very disciplined at the plate. Runner down at first goes. There's a bounder to the shortstop. He has only one play away at first. And he throws it away. Runners are going to advance to second and third.
What started out as a nice way to avoid a double play turned into what looked like rushed the fielder a little bit. Throw goes a bit wide. 2 in scoring position here.
Bickle, shortstop, made a great stop. The runner was going on the pitch. All he had to do was gather himself and throw over the first, but he threw wild. So runners on second and third with nobody out. Top of the order. This kid's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored.
Back to Olison, just a guy, right there. Nothing special at the plate, but guy who just hustles down the line. Makes things happen. That's what you want out of your 9-hitter.
Outside corner for strike 1. He's definitely a table setter, the kid Olison, man. He great eye at the plate, puts the ball in play, and is a leader in the dugout. Outside for ball 1. A ball and a strike to count. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Garcia reached on a hit by pitch. Olison grounded it short. He threw the ball into the dugout. That puts runners at second and third with nobody out. Fastball right down the middle. We must have looking for the breaking pitch that time because that ball there should have been sizzled. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Reed checks the runners at second and third. There's a base hit down the right field side. 1 runner score. 2 runs across. He's rounding second. He's being able to stand-up double.
3 for 3 for Twer on the day. Came into this one batting .333.
8-0 to score, Wildcats. That'll bring up Chun. Chun has not reached base. Grounded into a double play back in the first. Grounded to second and struck out looking. He has an opportunity right here with a man down at second base. So do they 10-run rule it and get out of here and catch the plane or what?
I know within the SWAC they definitely would.
Ball outside. Oh, strike call outside.
Be interesting to see what happens here. I don't think we're in danger of pushing it. At least not right now.
Bullpen action for Purdue Fort Wayne. Like 23?
It'll be 23. Mike Madura, another righty.
Reed checks the runner down at second. Delivers. Strike call outside corner. Great looking pitch there.
For the Wildcats to be back in action Tuesday night. Just a great game plan, great result here today with Gaviria going long, the bats clicking. Don't have to extend the arms out of the pen. Might see some subs, some pinch hitters as we round out the final 3 or so of this one. Good day to keep the bats hot, keep the arms fresh, reboot for what'll probably be a patchwork night out of the pen.
Cats with eight solid hits, 2 doubles. They're putting it in play when it counts. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Up to 37 runs scored for the Wildcats this weekend.
Ball outside. They've scored how many runs this weekend?
Well, we had 13 on Friday, 9 and 7 in 2 games yesterday, up to 8 now. So I'm not a huge math guy, but I believe that's 37.
Wow. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Second time, Chun has gone down.
Only the 3rd strikeout of the game for the Mastodons pitching staff.
Bring up the center fielder, Guzman.
Number 23, Jeremiah Guzman.
Guzman doubled back in the 4th. Brought home 3 runs with the bases loaded. He has a runner down at second now. With 1 down. Inside. Next week we got back week coming in. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in Daytona. They have a swing and a miss.
Softball will be the closest they've been this season. They'll be down at Madeira Beach for a little tournament action.
Those girls got a lot of sky miles and bus miles.
Laura Watton loves to grind out her non-conference play early.
There's a pop to the right side. Second baseman chases it. He's going to not make the catch. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Runner's going to move over to third. Give him a CNI single on that.
Valiant effort by the second baseman Nellis there. Tried to make the basket sliding play. Would have been a great one if he could come up with it.
Robert Moyer steps up, struck out, grounded to third, flying out to center. He's overdue right here. The big guy with the pine tar on his helmet. Ball outside. Been talking to Coach Hernandez about the gold, wearing the gold tops and put a little color down on the socks down there, look like the San Diego Padres on Sunday. We're trying to find the Senators.
Maroon and gold, outstanding baseball colors.
You wear some knee-high socks with some stirrups with some gold Senators, man, please. We're just like the San Diego Padres. Strike outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now we're getting into our book. This game is about over here. We're getting into our ad lib. Fly ball in deep center field. Center fielder goes back. It's over his head. It bounces over the center field fence for a double. 1 runner score. Moyer Ground rule double 400 feet from home plate. Torrero's score. Guzman goes over to third. Puts runners at second and third with one out. So Frame steps in, hitless on the afternoon. Walk, flat out to right, struck out looking. Here comes the coach for Purdue Fort Wayne. We got a break in action at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Wildcats have broken this thing wide open. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the Cat Eye Network. New pitcher for Purdue Fort Wayne, Mike Madura from Munster, Indiana. South Suburban Community College. Munster, Indiana.
6'6", 200 pounds, this Purdue Fort Wayne pitching staff. That's some big arms.
Yeah, he has some long arms, too.
A lanky build to him, but just that height.
First time I went to Indiana, I counted 72 basketball goals in the driveways.
Sounds about right.
Cats had played up in Indianapolis against Howard back in a few years ago. An opportunity to go over to Cary to see some folks. Gary, Indiana, see some folks. And like they say, basketball is huge in Indiana.
Wildcats men's basketball played Indiana in non-conference play this year. It's a great program over there. Probably will threaten for.
Coach Theus has those kids playing ball.
They've been a hot and cold team this year, certainly trending in the right direction after last night's win. It's going to take some of their best efforts to crack the SWAC tournament, but we know if you get there, anything can happen, especially in the men's basketball ranks, where for a lot of respects it's pretty wide open as opposed to the women, with Jackson State kind of dominating all season long. Obviously, we know they didn't lose a conference game last year, dropped their first one this year. I believe they haven't lost since then. Just make it to the dance and anything can happen. It goes for any sport.
So the first baseman, Sir Frame, steps in, hitless on the afternoon, looking for 2 RBIs. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Long, lanky kid. Look at the lower part of his legs. Very long torso.
Madura, 11 games, 2 starts last year.
Ball outside.
Spent his summer in the Midwest Collegiate League for the Northwest Oilmen. I like to think of myself as a minor league aficionado, and I haven't even heard of half of these teams these guys are spending time with. But however you can get your reps in and get more stuff on tape and more practice in, all the power to you.
Ball 3. I think those are wooden bat leagues, too.
Activity in both pens now.
So 3 balls and no strikes to Sofrain, and he has an open base down at first. Ball 4. 4 pitches. Madura walks him to load the bases. Brings up the catcher, Braceras. Nope, pinch hitting. Albert Espinosa.
The only switch hitter on the Wildcats roster this year is Espinosa. So he'll dig in from the left side here.
Serves to get the rest of the afternoon off. Great weekend behind the plate for him. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike one.
Looks like we'll have another pinch hitter on deck. Looks like number 8, Leandro Perez, putting the batting gloves down there on.
Ball outside.
Just that time of the game, start to see a lot of that.
The 1-1 outside for ball 2. Two balls on the strike, runners on every base, bases loaded.
Said before activity in the Wildcats pen, that was actually number 39, Derek Centrone, getting some long toss in. He may see him as a defensive replacement. Maybe a
Bounce back this way, you could have called that one.
It's just over the top of the press box.
But they were able to drain that river right there. It had to be 40, 50,000 baseballs in there.
Sometimes at night when the tide goes out, you can see big piles of them out there. Have to imagine they clean them up somewhat periodically, but
I don't know.
Who
This
knows?
ballpark has been here since 1920s, way outside. There was a lot of baseballs out there. I remember the Montreal Expos trained here for a couple of years, and when they did BP, yeah, there was a lot of balls going over there.
already a lot of history down there. Imagine the list of guys who
Oh,
hit
yeah.
balls out there into that river.
Oh yeah.
Be a fun list to see.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck 3. Espinosa goes down on strikes for the first out.
We'll have a pinch hitter here next.
Pitching for the Wildcats, number 8, Leandro Perez.
Leandro Perez. Perez comes up with the bases loaded. One down.
His first appearance of the season, I believe.
Breaking ball inside for ball 1.
Perez from Weston, Florida.
Down in South Florida.
Played club ball in Hialeah. No shocker then we find him here
Yeah.
with the Wildcats.
Breaking ball over this time for a strike.
26 games played. Hit 300. 14 runs scored, 15 hits, a homer, pair of RBI. The freshman.
Inside for ball 2. Freshman getting his first collegiate at bat.
Spent his time in Western High School. That's where all those stats I just read come to you from.
Ahead of the curveball. Runs the count to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners on every base. The 2-2. Fouled away. Madura from the stretch. The 2-2. Almost killed the third base coach that time.
A little acrobatic play from Jose Carballo down there.
A good thing we're not on Facebook, because if I said kill, they probably would put us in Facebook jail. Maduro with the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. It ends the inning. But the damage has been done. 3 runs, 3 hits, an error, 3 men left on. At the end of 6, the Cats lead it 9-0. Boy, back out there, middle of it.
Top of the 7th now. Appreciate everybody sticking with us on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here at the Jack. Daniel Gaviria been outstanding for the Wildcats thus far in this one. Allowed only 3 hits, no runs. He gets back to work at only 68 pitches. First pitch, number 25, Isaiah Hart, is hit high into right field.
Got a new right fielder out there.
It's going to be Perez takes over out there and makes the play. 1 away on 1 pitch. Just been that kind of afternoon for Gaviria. Working quick, getting quick outs, guys swinging away. He's no doubt been outstanding, but the approach by the Mastodons has certainly helped his length here.
Yeah, they've been first ball hit most of the afternoon. Because they do have a plane to catch shortly.
6 o'clock, that flight out of here.
It's 2:09 now.
First pitch is a strike. A little inside to Caden Ellis, the second baseman. 0 for 2 today. Excuse me, 1 for 2 today. Takes strike 2. That pitch looked a bit inside, but it's in there, says the home plate official. Strike 3. And on 4 pitches, there are 2 away.
Hey, this kid has been splendid on the mound all afternoon. Working fast. What's that, 7 strikeouts now?
Only 4, believe it or not.
4? Okay.
First pitch to the center fielder, Walker. Another strike. That ball's hit high into right center. Coming on it is Perez. A reaching grab. He's got it. 1, 2, 3 go the Mastodons. Gaviria works quickly again. Trying to get out of here. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Wildcats still lead this one 9-0. We'll be right back. You're watching Wildcats Baseball on the Cat Eye Network. Have a handful of defensive changes for the Mastodons here as Jeremy Garcia digs in for the Wildcats. New right fielder for the Mastodons. It's going to be number 42, Drew Dillon. Number 7, Braden Blackford moves over to shortstop. As Mike Medora delivers the first pitch to Garcia for a strike. Arm warming in the pen for the Mastodons. Pitches in the dirt, 1-1 now. That one's in there, crosses the heart of the plate. Strike 2. According to Wikipedia, mastodons went extinct 10 to 11,000 years ago.
Wow.
That ball's well outside, 2-2. Forest-dwelling animals lived in herds. Herbivores, as you'd probably expect. A little science for you on a getaway day. Late innings here. Ooh, that one hits Garcia like right above the right kneecap. He's holding his left. I could be mistaken there.
Yeah, he's on his left.
It is right above his knee. He will run down to first, though. Not even really that much of a noticeable limp. He gets up.
I think he just want to get dirty, man, a little bit.
Could be. Can't imagine that felt great, but rub a little dirt on it. Trot down to first base. Bring up the hot-hitting Colton Olison. 1 for 2 today with a walk and RBI. Base runner here. Looking to...
Olson has 3 runs scored today. He's been all over the base path.
First one's in there for a strike on the outside edge. Maybe a check over to first base. Garcia. Hard to imagine him running after taking a pitch on the leg like that, but before Wayne, arms have been concerned with the runners on base all day. Only what, the 1 steal to show for it?
That's it.
Olison.
A couple of hit and runs.
Excuse me, swing from Olison. That one's hit down the first base line, gathered by the pitcher Medora. We'll throw over to first. Colison's retired. Olison. That'll bring up Derek Cintrone now, who I mentioned earlier. He's doing some long toss over in the bullpen area.
Number 39, Derek Cintrone.
Cintrone replacing the third baseman Tuero. He'll likely take over there in the field when we get to the top of the 8th.
He's a freshman from the Vine Christian Academy, Kissimmee, Florida.
Played club ball for the Central Florida Rays. First pitch was a ball. Ranked as one of the top 40 third basemen in the state of Florida by perfect game as of last year. Spent some time at shortstop and second base with the Vine. This ball's fouled off. 1-1. Always good to give freshmen, younger players, an opportunity here and late in these games.
You never know when you're going to need them midweek.
Probably see some of that this Tuesday. Wildcats this year play one midweek game per week, save for 1 week towards the end of the season. We'll have a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Other than that, it'll be all Tuesday nighters for the length of the 23 season. This ball is ripped into left field for a base hit. Garcia will stop at third.
And they're giving the freshman a Bronx cheer down in the dugout for his first collegiate. Somebody need to give him that ball, man. Throw that ball out. They didn't get that ball.
Sure they'll find a way to get it to the dugout for the guys. Ball was absolutely stroked into left.
He tomahawked that thing down the left field.
Another pinch hitter for BCU this time.
They're going to get the ball. He's calling for the ball. He wants the ball. Yep.
It's going to be Omar Lopez now for the Wildcats, making his first appearance.
Orlando, Florida, Lake Nona High School. Another Central Florida kid.
Plenty of those to go around across the Wildcats athletic department. Helped his team to a district title in 21 at Lake Nona High School.
I think we got something in this kid, Centron. I think he's a special ball player.
Certainly looked the part with that base hit. That ball's outside, but called a strike.
Yeah.
0-2 to Lopez. His father is the first base coach with the Houston Astros. Also Omar Lopez. Ball swung on a missed. He goes down swinging on 3 pitches.
I got a lot of history with that ball club, the Houston Astros. They used to train here back in the 80s, and I worked for the Houston Astros minor league ball club. I even lived with J.R. Richards and a couple of major leaguers for a little while.
That'll bring up Malik Stevens, one of the top hitters for the Wildcats a season ago, getting some work here.
Got the guns out.
Always. First pitch to him was ruled a strike.
But has he been injured off season or
I
something?
think he's been a bit banged up. I think he started 1 game early in this season, but otherwise kind of appeared in late innings as that go-to pinch hit option. I'd imagine we'll see him as a regular over the course of the season as he tries to kind of work his way back.
He was on fire at the end of the year last year.
Ended up tying Boris Pena for the lead in home runs on the team with 6. Probably not a shocker to anybody who comes close to him that the guy can hit one out there. Like you mentioned, has leaned up a little bit since last year. Already a lean guy, but tightened it up a bit. The pitch is behind him for ball 2. Centrone will go down to second on the wild pitch. A couple inches behind Stevens there. Ball kind of got away from pitcher Madura. Stevens hit leadoff primarily for the team last year. Talking to Hernandez before the season, he'll probably slot in towards the bottom of the lineup this year, not necessarily due to his skill as a hitter, but to just keep that lineup as deep as possible. The ball swung on and missed, 2-2.
He's not cheated out of any swings.
As a leadoff hitter last year, 3rd on the team in walks, 4th in average, 1st in doubles, 1st in RBI. 3rd in all of the SWAC in doubles last year. Tied for 4th in the league in stolen bases. This ball well outside. That's a wild pitch. That's going to score a run. Garcia slide into home plate. He'll easily score. The Wildcats will cross double digits here. They're up to 10 runs today. Centrone goes down to 3rd on the play. Count is full.
And you get Stevens back going. With the way we're playing right now, he would be a great asset. You know, even though he's been injured, he's a veteran ball club and veteran leadership. He's very much needed down the stretch.
Looking at all the hits in the bottom of the lineup today, you got a guy like Stevens in that and wonder where the outs come. Big swing and a miss. He goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning. Wildcats grab 1 They're up to 10 on the afternoon, 11 hits total. We'll be right back to work here. Looks like Gaviria will get the ball again. But before he does, we'll take a quick break. You're watching Wildcats Baseball on the Cat Eye Network. Luke Miles will lead off the 8th inning for the Mastodons, trying to put anything together to get on the board. The ball's chopped foul down the third base line. It's Gaviria's game at this point. At only 75 pitches after that one, we could see him polish this one off.
We rarely see pitchers go all the way.
That ball is ripped down the left field line, but into the canal out there. Join the graveyard of other balls.
Serious graveyard of baseballs out there.
Gaviria just had one of those afternoons to work deep into games. That ball's high, check swing, rolled no swing by the first base official.
Was that the guy behind the plate last night?
I
Was
believe
squeezing?
so. Again, yeah, squeezing.
Ah!
That ball's in the dirt. Gaviria struck out 4, no walks. That's the key right there to a long appearance on a Sunday. That ball looked inside, but it's ruled strike 3. Miles will go down looking. 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Gaviria. We'll have pinch hitter here, Brooks Sailors. Fun name there.
Whoops.
First pitch to him is right down the middle of the plate for strike 1. Sailors, a catcher out of Brookston, Indiana. Takes that one for a strike.
Another Frontier Community College guy.
6'1", 180. He's a junior. That ball's hit high into center field. Right to Stevens, who makes the play. Didn't have to move maybe a step. And another quick 2 outs for Gaviria. If you're going to throw a complete game, this is how you do it. Obviously getting the benefit of it being that Sunday game. They're 3 full games. Guys ready to go home, but man, has he worked quick. This one is hit right to the second baseman, Olison. Drew Dillon into the glove of the first baseman, Sufrain. And that'll end the top of the 8th here. Nothing doing. 3 up, 3 down for the Mastodons. We're into the final frames of this one. Wildcats up 10-0. We'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with us here. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. New pitcher to the mound for Purdue Fort Wayne here as we reach the bottom of the 8th inning. It's going to be Colin Bauer Jr., another right-hander out of Peoria, Illinois Central College. This is his first season with the Mastodons. A season ago, he made 11 appearances for Illinois Central. 3.41 ERA over 37 innings pitched, struck out 51. Nice little year for him. In 2021, he allowed 27 hits and 37 innings pitched. Again, a 3.41 ERA. Back-to-back years, same ERA. We'll have a pinch hitter for the Wildcats. No shocker here to start off the bottom of the 8th. For Robert Moya, it'll be Carlos Okita, the junior from Chula Vista, California. From Trinidad State College, where he played a season ago. He was named the 2022 Region 9 Baseball second team as a first baseman. He's played a little infield, a little outfield. First pitch to him's a ball. He's ranked the number 17 first baseman in the state of California by Perfect Game in 2019 during his time in high school.
6'1", 215. He's not missing any meals either.
That one's a strike to him. As a freshman in 2021, spent some time at San Diego City College. That one's a ball. He's made 1 appearance as far this season, 2 at-bats. Hitless, 2 strikeouts. This one popped up down the right field line. The second baseman calls for it. And Caden Ellis will make the catch for the first out here. Another pinch hitter for the Wildcats now, Boris Pena. Regular rotational starter here for the Wildcats.
Mater Academy Charter School. I know exactly where that is. Hialeah, Florida. Matter of fact, he was a 9th grader when I was at Florida Christian doing baseball.
Another Hialeah guy, no shocker there. Big power guy for the Wildcats last season, making his first appearance today. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hit 250 last year. Team leads 6 home runs. Big SWAC tournament last year, had a big home run against Grambling State. This ball is hit high into center field. Center fielder comes in on it, makes the play. 2 quick outs here. Albert Espinoza make his second plate appearance today. Struck out his first time up.
He's from a great program down in Miami, Columbus High School, the Explorers. All of their sports, man. Top notch.
With the right-hander on the mound, he'll hit from the left side again, like we said. Only switch hitter on this Wildcats roster. This one said foul. Just took out the first base coach, Antoine Brown. His first season with the program, he's a volunteer assistant coach.
Where's he from? He was a grad student?
He's not. I'm not sure. He was around the program a bit last year.
Okay.
I'd have to look.
Volunteer coach, that's how you get in there.
That's a ball. 1-1 to Espinoza. Of course, Coach Hernandez entering his 5th season, 4th full season. He likes that pointed out because with 50 wins in 5 seasons doesn't look as impressive before you consider that he was cut short, only played about 18 games in the COVID year. So, and of course you have Jose Carballo, his 5th season. Joel Sanchez takes pitching coach duties. That'll be called strike 3. Espinoza, second strikeout this afternoon.
Right on the mound.
We will go to the 9th inning. Mastodons down to their final 3 outs here. Only 3 hits managed by them today. It's going to be Gaviria. We'll see if he can close this one out, earn the complete game shutout. But before he does, we'll take a quick break. You're watching the Cat Eye Network. Daniel Gaviria back on the mound for the 9th inning. He's only at 83 pitches this afternoon. Been a bit of some early swinging by the Mastodons. Overall, great performance. Don't want to take anything away from what he's done on the mound today. 5 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Hasn't walked anyone. He has been outstanding. Going for the first Wildcats complete game shutout of the year.
Yeah, he mixed 3 great pitches this afternoon, working fast. First ball hitting, too, by the Purdue team.
First pitch, swung on it, hit out into right field. That one's caught. And Blackford, 1 pitch, 1 out. It's been like that for Gaviria all day. Ben Higgins now, 1 for 3 today. Wildcats had 1 complete game last year, also by the Sunday starter. It was Hector Vasquez. That one only ended up going 7 innings by run rule. This one's hit foul on the right field line. No complete game shutouts for the Wildcats last year.
So in game 8 of the season, we
Looking
get a
at
complete
number
game.
1.
Yeah.
Swinging again here. This one's fouled. Looks like it'll drift out of play. Nope. Drifting back into play. Boris Pena makes the catch.
He's a converted catcher, right?
He spent some time last year at catcher and at first base. I don't know if we'll see him at catcher this year with the wealth of catching talent they added in the offseason, but a little catcher, a little DH, little first base last year. Gaviria, 1 out to get. First pitch to Caleb Johnson is a ball. Another ball. Mastodons down to their final out here. Been a rough afternoon for him at the plate. Made some hard contact, but almost nothing to show for it. This one swung on and missed.
Like they say, anytime you come to Daytona to play the Wildcats, if you go to the beach, get your feet in the sand, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. That pitch is swung on and missed. Down to the final strike here. Gaviria and the Wildcats looking for win number 4 in a row. Sweep the weekend series. Count will go full as this one's in the dirt.
He's almost in trouble getting his first base on balls.
This one's hit out into left. Chun coming on. He's got it. That's your ball game. Daniel Gaviria works a complete game shutout, allows 3 hits. The Wildcats bats, I'd say come alive, but they've been alive all weekend. 10 runs for them today. Just pure domination on all sides of the field from BCU. They've won 4 straight. They sweep the 4-game series. Their record improves to 6-2. Purdue Fort Wayne falls to 1-7 on the young season. Daryl Gaviria all day. What else can you say about the guy?
Kid was magnificent on this great afternoon for baseball. Used 3 pitches to fastball, slider, all-speed pitch, working very fast on the mound. Purdue Fort Wayne with first ball hit most of the afternoon, so his pitch count was low. He had a great rhythm, and he got a number of hits and runs behind him, so the kid just cruised. Hope he can remember this because it's going to get much tougher than this down the road, but great afternoon for him, great afternoon for the Wildcats.
No doubt. RBI 3 for Tuero, 3 for Guzman, 1 for Moya. 3 hits for Tuero out of the leadoff spot. Guzman, the only other Wildcat with multiple hits. 8 Wildcats with a hit in the game. Just an outstanding afternoon at the play. They'll hope to keep that up this Tuesday night when they take on UCF. That game scheduled for a 6 o'clock first pitch. We'd like to thank everybody for hanging with us here on the Cat Eye Network. Beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball. We hope you enjoy your Sunday evening. We hope you've enjoyed your Sunday afternoon with us. We'll be right back on Tuesday night. Hope to see you out there. For myself, Bryce Wojnowski, Daryl Natil, the rest of us here at BCU Athletics, we thank you for your time. We hope you have a great Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you Tuesday. This has been the Cat Eye Network.
Yes, sir.